Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, turmoil over the president's tariffs, Prince Harry in London, and Jurassic Park meets Game of Thrones in real life. Whiplash, wild swings on Wall Street. As President Trump's tariffs send markets into chaos, some Wall Street titans now calling on the president to call off his trade war with prices set to rise.
Rivers still rising after a once-in-a-generation storm slammed the South and Midwest.
It is.
A dock floating down the Kentucky River as it reaches near historic levels.
Massive Paris fire. Hundreds of firefighters battle flames in thick black smoke. Residents near the Eiffel Tower told to shelter in place.
Fluoride fight. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. about to issue a major recommendation for the CDC. What it could mean for your family.
Prince Harry back in court, making a rare appearance, fighting to protect his family, waving as he's entered the courthouse moments ago.
A 2-year-old reported missing on a freezing cold Michigan night. How the first responders spotted him on an infrared helicopter camera and saved him.
Jurassic Park meets Game of Thrones in real life.
Nymeria?
How the dire wolf was brought back from extinction thousands of years after they last walked the earth.
Plus, the Titanic like you've never seen it before. New secrets revealed with a first look right here on GMA.
And the Florida Gators are your newest NCAA champions.
It's a great day to be a Gator!
After a stunning March Madness comeback. Heartbreak for Houston. This morning, Florida star Will Richard joins us.
Richard is starting to feel it. Back-to-back trays.
As they all celebrate and say,
Good morning, America! I can't wait to see my mama, man. Mama, I love you, girl.
Live from Times Square, it's Tuesday. Good morning, America.
Did you say champions?
champions.
Champions. Champions.
Champions, George. After I said it, I was like, oh, no, you didn't, Michael.
But what a great night for the Gators.
What a great night. And I love that mama stuff. I love that. And we have a lot of news to get to this morning, including the Supreme Court weighing in on the Trump administration's deportation of Venezuelan migrants to a prison in El Salvador.
But we begin this morning with the latest fallout from President Trump's tariffs. The markets are bracing for more wild volatility today. Yesterday, the Dow swung over 2,500 points. That was the biggest single-day fluctuation ever. And guys, I've been talking to Wall Street veterans who tell me they've never been hit with so many headlines all at once. It's hard to even keep track. Well, we're going to help with that today.
Yeah, it is overwhelming. And the president is standing firm, dismissing a suggestion that there could be a tariff pause and threatening China with even higher tariffs if they follow through with retaliation. Let's start with Whit Johnson for the latest on Wall Street. Good morning, Whit.
Hey, Michael, good morning. The markets are opening a little higher this morning amid some cautious optimism about potential deals on tariffs in the future. But the S&P lost more than $5 trillion in value since last Wednesday's tariff announcement. That's one of the worst three-day losses in the history of the index, and most expect that volatility will continue in this escalating trade war.
This morning, frenzy on Wall Street as President Trump's trade war sends markets into chaos. The Dow with its largest point swing ever in a single day, eventually closing down more than 300 points Monday, following the president's warning that some tariffs could become permanent.
No other president's going to do this, what I'm doing. And I'll tell you what, it's an honor to do it because we have been just destroyed, what they've done to our system.
The Dow plunging more than 1,000 points early in the day, but then a brief upswing sparked in part by a false post on social media that the president might pause the sweeping tariffs. The White House quickly saying that was not true. Major businesses now making moves to try and minimize the pain. According to the Wall Street Journal, Apple, which lost about 20% of its value in the last 3 trading days, is now planning to send more iPhones to the U.S. from India instead of China.
This is totally self-inflicted. This did not have to happen.
Hedge fund billionaire Bill Ackman, a vocal Trump supporter during the election, now urging the president to call a timeout, warning, "We are heading for a self-induced economic nuclear winter, and we should start hunkering down, make cooler heads prevail." Americans now bracing for prices to rise. Financial experts say prices for fresh produce could go up within a week. For cars, it could be a month. And for appliances and clothing, that increase could take place in the next 4 to 6 months. Business owners already feeling the effects, like Iowa soybean farmer David Walton, who exports some of his produce to China.
A good portion of the soybeans grown in the United States ends up in China. They are our largest export buyers. If this trade war lasts beyond this fall, you're going to see farmers go out of business.
And the Trump administration is now threatening an additional 50% tariff on China if China does not withdraw its retaliatory tariffs on the United States. So that would effectively bring a total of tariffs on China to more than 100%. And China is now firing back, calling it blackmail, promising to fight until the end. George?
Just the beginning. As Whit just said, President Trump is holding firm on his tariffs, rejecting calls for a pause. Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce tracking that debate. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, George. Well, with his sweeping so-called reciprocal tariffs set to take effect at midnight tonight, the president is not backing down, but his administration is sending some mixed messages about this trade war. The president speaking of these tariffs as permanent policy while also opening the door to bargaining. This morning, in the face of turmoil on Wall Street, President Trump remains defiant.
I don't mind going through it because I see a beautiful picture at the end.
He's showing no signs of budging, despite growing fear among economists that a recession is on the horizon. Top investors, even Trump supporters, now urging him to hit the brakes. I asked the president, would you be open to a pause in tariffs to allow for negotiations?
Well, we're not looking at that. We have many countries that are coming to negotiate deals with us, and they're going to be fair deals.
The White House says almost 70 countries have come calling, but so far only Japan appears engaged in any kind of active negotiations before Trump's 24% tariff takes effect. We pressed the Treasury Secretary. You're starting to negotiate. How soon do you think we could see some deals be made?
Well, we have one of the Vietnamese officials coming in this week. The Japanese are very eager to get over, and I think you're going to see a couple of big trading partners do deals very quickly.
The president pressed on the purpose of his tariffs as his administration sends mixed messages, asked if they're a permanent strategy or a short-term negotiating tactic.
Well, they can both be true. There can be permanent tariffs, and there can also be negotiations, because there are things that we need beyond tariffs.
The president appearing alongside Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, whose own country is being slapped with a 17% tariff despite being America's closest ally in the Middle East. Netanyahu seeming to give Trump what he wants, promising to lower Israel's tariff rate on the U.S. to 0.
We will eliminate the trade deficit with the United States.
But even with that assurance, Trump still not committing to reducing the tariffs on Israel.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Don't forget, we help Israel a lot.
On Capitol Hill, Republican leaders publicly shrugging off concerns, arguing the president's plan will take time.
We have to give the president space.
But among some rank-and-file members, dissent is growing. 7 Republican senators now joining with Democratic Senator Maria Cantwell to introduce a long-shot bill that would require the president to notify Congress of new tariffs that Congress would need to approve within 60 days. A similar bill in the House brought by moderate Nebraska Republican Don Bacon, but neither likely to pass, Trump already threatening to veto.
Congress must immediately take back power from Donald Trump before he causes more damage to the economy.
Now, all of this will play out on the Hill today when Trump's top trade rep testifies before the Senate Finance Committee. He's expected to defend the president's trade agenda and be pressed on the fallout. George.
Okay, Mary, thanks. We're going to the Supreme Court now, which handed the Trump administration a partial victory in a case involving the deportation of Venezuelan migrants. Senior national correspondent Terry Moran has that story. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, George. Overnight, President Trump hailed the Supreme Court ruling as, quote, a great day for justice in America. And this is a victory for the administration, but as you note, only a partial one. On a 5-4 vote, with Justice Amy Coney Barrett, a Trump appointee, joining the court's liberals in dissent, the Supreme Court ruled that President Trump can continue to use the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 for now to carry out deportations of alleged Venezuelan gang members. But the ruling was narrow, the court's majority holding only that this case was brought in the wrong lower court, so litigation likely to continue. And this is huge. All 9 justices of the Supreme Court agreed that courts do have the power to review the president's actions under that 1798 law. The administration had tried to deny that, and that each and every Venezuelan migrant scheduled to be deported must get due process. That is advance notice of the deportation and a meaningful opportunity to challenge it in court.
The Chief Justice made a separate ruling on one of these specific cases.
That's right. The Chief Justice John Roberts essentially calling a timeout here, giving the court more time to consider the case of Kilmar Albrego Garcia. He is a Maryland man in the United States legally, who the government admits it mistakenly deported to that El Salvador prison. The administration it does not want to return him. A lower court judge has ordered that the administration bring him back to the United States, but the administration argues that exceeds the power of the judiciary and interferes with the president's ability to carry out foreign affairs. George?
Tara Moran. Thanks, Rebecca.
All right, George, thank you. We turn now to the deadly flooding in the South and Midwest from the historic storm that battered the region. More than a dozen rivers are in major flood stage, with the water still rising. And Alex Perez is in Frankfort, Kentucky for us this morning. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Rebecca. The storm is long gone, but the impact is still being felt. Take a look. This is what some neighborhoods still look like. Officials say at least 50 homes were completely destroyed.
This morning, widespread flooding in the wake of deadly storms that have devastated the South and Midwest. Waters is still rising.
Saturday night was the last time I saw the front porch. If you were to stand at the end of the road, it would be over your head.
Historic rainfall in Kentucky, the state getting 15 inches of rain in 4 days, neighborhoods completely underwater.
I've never honestly seen anything like this. All the businesses here, there's no power. It's devastating.
As many as 50 homes were destroyed by floodwaters in Frankfort, the governor warning that even when the water is receding,
do not drive through water, do not move barricades.
Over 60 people evacuated from a hotel in Louisville, rescued by boats after roads surrounding the hotel were cut off by floodwaters. You can see this dock floating down a river before crashing into a bridge.
There it goes.
No. We're not out of the woods yet. Stay at home. Help your neighbors. Don't be out if you don't have to be out.
Here in Butler, Kentucky, the evacuation order has been lifted, but many roads still remain like this, completely underwater, making things even more difficult for those trying to get back home.
In Hardy, a town in northeast Arkansas, scenes of devastation. Homes ripped from their foundations, vehicles destroyed, and roads completely washed out.
And the river here has crested and the water is slowly receding, but officials say it could still be a couple of days before some people are able to get back into their homes. Michael?
Yeah, that water still looks pretty high there, Alex. Thank you for that. And let's bring in Ginger with more on the flooding. Good morning, Ginger.
Hey, in that storm's last gasp, not only did it have a little bit more rain for the southeast, but also 3 reported tornadoes. And the damage here in Grady County, Georgia, this is north of Tallahassee, so just over that Florida state line. We'll be looking at the survey later today for that. But that storm now is all the way off. A little bit of leftover shower action in South Florida. Behind it, though, so many flood warnings. Like Alex said, it takes time for those rivers to go down. So we just wanted to point out from southern Indiana through Kentucky, this is the Kentucky River. At Camp Nelson, they hit or got close to record levels, but now they're starting to come down. There are 21 river gauges currently from Arkansas up through Indiana, Missouri, and Kentucky that are in major flood stage. So it'll take some time. Good news is they're pretty dry.
Yes, that is the good news. Thank you, Ginger, for keeping an eye on it for us. We turn now to the Sean Diddy Combs case. Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katersky is here with what prosecutors are now asking the judge. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, Rebecca. When Sean Combs goes on trial next month, the jury's going to hear about prolonged sex performances called freak-offs, the drugs that fueled them, and what prosecutors say would happen if Diddy's partners said no. Prosecutors now want the jury to hear even more. They're asking the judge to allow testimony about the defendant's sexual abuse of other victims. They said it proves Combs intended to take the sexual gratification he wanted, regardless of consent. Now, the defense balked at that, saying such testimony is designed only to smear Mr. Combs and pointing out some of the allegations are about 20 years old. Combs has pleaded not guilty and said all of the alleged conduct was consensual and part of his private sex life. Prosecutors did not disclose the identities of the alleged victims and asked the judge to allow them to testify under pseudonyms, they said, to prevent significant embarrassment, anxiety, and social stigma. Guys.
All right, thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. I know you're going to stay on top of that. And go now to the NCAA men's basketball champion, Florida Gators. Yeah, winning a thriller over Houston in a game that came down to the final play. Our guy, Will Reed, was here. Stayed up and watched it, I know.
Sure did. Watched every second of it. And if ever a game, good morning, by the way, if ever a game encapsulated the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, here it was. Houston had it in the bag. Then Florida started to claw back. Ultimately, the game coming down to the final seconds. Jubilation, despair, and a new champion.
It was one shining comeback for the University of Florida. Overnight, the Gators overcoming a 12-point deficit in the second half to beat the Houston Cougars 65-63 in a physical and thrilling NCAA men's championship game.
We got the natty, baby! We got the natty! Let's go!
The final possession, a heartbreaker for Houston. Down 2 with under 20 seconds to play, the Cougars needed a basket to tie, a three-pointer to win, but couldn't get a shot off of any kind.
Cryer, 6 seconds, 5 seconds, short. He walked, he can't touch it. He can't, 1 second, and it's over!
Florida winning their first title in nearly 2 decades. The 12-point comeback tied for the third biggest in tournament history, and it was a team effort.
And a slap for Condon. Richard is starting to feel it. Back-to-back trays.
Role players including Alex Condon and Will Richard stepping up.
We're just a team that believes in each other. I mean, we're all connected. We love playing for each other. We love being a Gators.
The Final Four's most outstanding player, Walter Clayton Jr., had 0 points well into the second half, but came alive late with the title on the line.
We got built a great brotherhood here, so you just stay together.
Florida fans back in Gainesville erupting. And fans in San Antonio flooding the streets. At just 39 years old, Todd Golden is the youngest head coach to win a title since the late, great Jim Valvano in 1983.
We clearly have the best team in America. And in 3 short years in Gainesville, we got the basketball program back where it belongs, which is raising trophies, playing in Final Fours, and competing for national championships. Just super fortunate to be with this group right here.
Florida is now tied for the second most national titles in the past quarter century. Very successful program. Also, guys, very successful bracket. Look at that.
Oh,
Florida.
baby.
I'm not blind. You don't have to show it off like, here, look, Michael. Look right in my face.
But here, we're going to do that anyway.
Congratulations.
It's about the journey, not the destination.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Until next year.
You just had to show it off. That's why. It's not about the journey. All right, Will, thank you. And Florida's Will Richard. He's going to join us to talk about helping his team win the title. There he is.
Also coming up, Eva Pilgrim here with the latest on the doctor in Hawaii.
Hey, good morning, George. The anesthesiologist pleading not guilty to trying to push his wife off a cliff, attempting to inject her with a syringe, then hitting her in the head with a rock. His attorney says that there are 2 sides to the story. I'll tell you what happened in court, Rebecca.
A lot of new details there, Eva. And the giant star is made famous by Game of Thrones, how the dire wolf was brought back from extinction.
We'll be right back on this Tuesday morning.
Everything you are, everything you've done, has come to this. You gave him an aircraft carrier?
Welcome back to GMA. We are cruising into Tuesday with that new trailer for the 8th Mission Impossible. Blair will have more details on the fan favorite and what Tom Cruise has planned. That is coming up in Pop News.
It is an epic trailer. First new at 7:30, President Trump says the U.S. will hold direct talks with Iran over its nuclear program. But Iran is describing the talks set for this Saturday as indirect. The 2 countries have not had direct negotiations since Trump withdrew from the Iran nuclear deal in 2018. Also, hundreds of firefighters battled a fire at a recycling center in Paris. The flames and thick smoke could be seen all over the City of Lights. Everyone was evacuated from the facility, and nearby residents were told to shelter in place. The building was completely destroyed. No one was injured, and the fire was extinguished overnight.
And And lottery news, starting with tonight's drawing. Mega Millions tickets prices are jumping from $2 to $5 a pop. Officials for the multi-state lottery say the increase will lead to more blockbuster billion-dollar jackpots and will improve your odds of winning from 1 in 303 million to 1 in 290 million.
Cut out 13 million people in line ahead of you. Okay.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yes.
We're going to turn now to the doctor accused of attacking his wife, trying to kill her while they were hiking in Hawaii. He pleaded not guilty Monday to attempted murder charges. Eva Pilgrim here with the story. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, George. This all started as a special trip to celebrate his wife's birthday. The two have 2 little boys together, 4 and 2, so he took her for a getaway. Now he's accused of trying to take her life. The anesthesiologist accused of trying to murder his wife on a popular Hawaiian hiking trail in court facing a judge.
Thomas Otake on behalf of Gerhard Koenig, who is appearing by video.
Dr. Gerhard Koenig appearing via video link from jail.
We will be entering a plea of not guilty.
Pleading not guilty to the attempted murder charge. His nuclear engineer wife, Ariel, saying that on a trip he planned for her birthday, Koenig tried to push her off a 1,200-foot cliff. In a petition she filed for a restraining order, she detailed how he grabbed me by my upper arms and started pushing me back towards the cliff edge. Ariel saying she threw herself on the ground to keep from going over the edge, leading to a physical struggle between them. Adding, Gerhard grabbed his bag and took out a syringe with an unknown substance, attempting to inject me. She was able to throw that syringe. Shortly after, she says, he grabbed a nearby rock and began bashing me repeatedly on the head with it. 2 women then appeared on the hiking trail shouting, saving her. Koenig, for now, being held with no bail. The trial has been set for June. And Koenig's lawyer saying he plans to be back in court soon, expecting to request bail either later this week or early next. That will go before a new judge who was just assigned to handle the trial for this case. Michael.
All right, Eva, thank you for that. We're going to turn now to a rescue caught on camera. Hero Michigan State troopers using heat-seeking technology to find a missing 2-year-old. We're hearing from them this morning, and Lara's here with more. Good morning, Lara.
Good morning. Yeah, Michael, this was a toddler in nothing more than a diaper who went missing over the weekend when the high temperature reached only into the 40s. Thankfully, though, state troopers in Jackson County, Michigan knew exactly what to do, using high-tech equipment to find him with no time to spare. This morning, a miraculous rescue. The scary ordeal all caught on the infrared helicopter camera. The 2-year-old boy reported missing by his parents at 8 p.m. Saturday night.
The child was in the living room. They walked out. They come back a few minutes later, and the door to the apartment unit was open.
The situation was critical. It was 40 degrees in Michigan that night, and the toddler was only wearing a diaper.
Later on at night, it dropped below freezing. So if no one would have found this child, the outcome would not have been the same, most likely.
Michigan State Police Sergeant Cole Martin and Trooper Brandon Franklin were already in the air when they got the call.
En route, we said we got to find this baby as soon as possible, right? We have children of our own. We weren't leaving until we found that child.
After searching for 15 minutes,
I got another heat sensor.
They saw something moving in a ditch just off of a highway.
This is looking like this is possibly the child, but it can't be confirmed yet. I'm trying to get the light to get a better take cam visual on it.
We got him.
The toddler, conscious and alert, was taken to the hospital and reunited with his grateful parents.
When we found that child, first thing we do, if we find anyone, we high five in the air. And then we say, yeah.
Happy to have been there. I mean, we train for this and make sure that we leave with happy endings and don't fall short of that.
So lucky we had them. This happened about an hour outside of Detroit. Police say the heat detecting camera technology was just a major factor in finding this little boy, guys.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, we're happy the little boy is okay.
Yep.
All right, thank you, Lara.
Now on GMA, with a comeback some 13,000 years in the making, researchers have bred a trio of gray wolf pups that carry genes from the dire wolves, a species of giant canines that once roamed the earth. Ginger is back with an exclusive look inside the laboratory where it all happened. And Ginger, this is Jurassic Park meets Game of Thrones, as you said.
Yes, more than a year ago, Rebecca, you know this, I started talking to this group because they call themselves a de-extinction company, and that piqued my interest because they're promising to bring back the woolly mammoth by 2028. A few weeks ago, we signed NDAs and learned what they called their first big de-extinction success. As soon as we got on the call, they said, "Have you ever seen Game of Thrones? Because we brought back the direwolf."
Nymeria? With their foreboding presence, all-knowing eyes, and undying loyalty, the direwolf was as much a part of Game of Thrones as the actors themselves. And this morning, Colossal Biosciences say that they have managed to bring these mythical creatures, who last roamed the Earth 10,000 years ago, back from extinction. They say it's the first time an extinct species has ever come back to life.
Scientists have predicted that by 2050, more than half of species that are alive today could become extinct. I don't want that future.
According to Beth Shapiro and her team, they extracted high-quality DNA from direwolf fossils and combined that with the genome of a gray wolf.
That animal looks like a direwolf, it will behave like a direwolf, and it is a direwolf.
Colossal's chief animal officer, Matt James, is in charge of taking care of the 3 white direwolves: Romulus, Remus, and Khaleesi. Colossal is keeping the now 6-month-old direwolves at an undisclosed location on a 2,000-acre enclosed nature preserve.
The responsibility lies on me and my team in order to make sure that those animals live the best life possible, experience the most optimal welfare possible.
Dr. Robert Klitzman is a bioethicist and geneticist at Columbia University. And while excited about the idea of the direwolf,
and I mean, gee, that's impressive. There's a certain wow factor, like how cool is that, right?
he has concerns.
The bottom line is a lot of the genome we still do not understand. And so one wants to be careful if you're mucking around with genes that there may be things we don't understand. You may produce a wolf that's twice as ferocious.
After all, Jurassic Park, which explored the concept of bringing dinosaurs back from extinction, might have started like this. But it wound up like this. A cautionary tale for scientists.
Ecosystems are very delicately balanced, and nature is far more complicated than our ability as humans to understand it or to understand all the possible unforeseen consequences.
Colossal tells us that no wolves were harmed in the making of the direwolves, and the 2 surrogate dogs that had them have been adopted through the Humane Society. There are also some critics who say that the new direwolves are more gray wolf than direwolf, even though they are white. You can catch the full story streaming tonight on ABC News Live Prime at 7 p.m. Eastern. I have to say, some of the work they're doing on real animals that are nearly extinct, that are endangered, like they've cloned 4 red wolves, for example, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fascinating. The kinds of breakthroughs, the potential for the kinds of breakthroughs here are just mind-boggling.
Then they have some of the best scientific minds on it, so hopefully they make good choices.
Put some AI, it's going to accelerate even more.
Right? Exactly. That's what Ben asked. He said, are we sure that we saw real images of these wolves?
I just hope that life doesn't imitate art, you know?
Yeah.
And then we got robots on one end, and now we're going back to the
robots fighting the dinosaurs.
Yeah. Confused. A lot of fantasy. Now, with more on the Florida Gators winning the NCAA basketball championship, or earlier, I spoke with Florida star Will Richard. Take a look. Well, congratulations on being the champion, NCAA men's basketball champions. And you got the hat, you got the shirt, you got it all on, man. So how does it feel waking up as the national champion this morning?
It feels great. I mean, it's what you put in the work for. It's what you come to Florida for, to win national championship. So it's a blessing for sure.
And I messed up. I said, how does it feel to wake up? You haven't even gone to bed yet. I mean, you're still going. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. I'm watching the game last night. You guys were down by as many as 12 points in the second half. A lot of teams would have just said, hey, we're in the fight. We came in second place. But you fought back. And how confident were you and the rest of the guys that you could mount a comeback?
We were all confident. I feel like that just goes back to show how connected we are. I feel like we feel like as long as there's time on the clock, we have a chance to win a game, no matter what the situation is. So I just feel like we just all put our trust in each other, and we were poised, calm and collected during that time, and rallied back.
And you were the high scorer for the Gators. You scored 18 points. But it wasn't so much that you were the high scorer. You scored 18. It's when you scored them. Because the first half, you guys were struggling offensively, but you weren't. You knocked down 14 points in the first half. So I have to say, I give you a lot of credit for keeping the team in the game because you were not afraid to pull up and hit the three. So it must have felt good to see those going down when everybody else was struggling.
For sure, yeah. Just trying to make plays to help keep my team in, and then just give ourselves a good chance to win the game.
And one of those situations where it comes down to the last play, which as a fan, we love it, makes it exciting. But when you're out there on the court, it may be a little more nerve-wracking. What was going through your mind during that final play?
Oh, man, they ain't about it with like 19 seconds left. I swear it was the longest 19 seconds of my life. But just trying to make it hard for them to score. Walt made a good play, getting a good contest, and then the Kondo dove on the floor, and I heard the siren go off. So it was special. I mean, just feeling that feeling, being able to celebrate with your teammates in that moment with your family, it was special.
And something else that's special, you were named to the all-tournament team. What does that mean to you?
All glory to God. I mean, I'm just going out there trying to help my team win. I'm happy to be out there, put a Florida jersey on, and just play for the team, play for the coaches, just play for the community. It's all about them.
Now, you're a senior. You just played in your final college game. Could you have scripted it to end any better in your college career than what it did last night?
I couldn't have. I mean, this is special. This is what you dream of. This is what you put all the work in for. So it's special to see it come to fruition.
Well, Will Richard, congratulations. You are a world champion, my friend. Congratulations. Get some sleep.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right. Take care.
I will. Yeah, appreciate you.
Thanks.
That was fun.
Yeah. Good kid.
And coming up, the internet's favorite grandma, Babs Costello, is here sharing a blueprint for your week when it comes to planning your meals.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Whiplash. Wild swings on Wall Street as President Trump's tariffs send markets into chaos. Some Wall Street titans now calling on the president to call off his trade war, with prices set to rise.
Phasing out fluoride in water, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. saying he plans to tell the CDC to stop recommending fluoridation in communities nationwide. Dr. Tara Narula is here with the science and what families should know.
And we're running into Tuesday. Maybe not as fast as Tom Cruise, but we are ready for more Mission Impossible Final Reckoning news. Lara tells us what's next for Ethan Hunt. And if you think cooking for the week is Mission Impossible, have no fear. Agent Babs Costello is here with her blueprint from Sheet Pan Mondays to Eat Twice Tuesdays. That sounds nice. As the internet's favorite grandma says,
Good morning, America.
Live from Times Square, it's Tuesday. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. George, has anyone ever told you look like Tom Cruise?
No, but thank you, Michael.
Yeah, looking at
unless you just weren't saying that.
No, but you got George or Tom. Two good-looking guys out there doing crazy stunts. There we go. You know what? We love when Babs Costello is here as well. If Babs is here, she's going to share her blueprint with us for cooking every day of the week. You don't want to miss it.
You don't want to miss that. I'm still loving George's face in response to that question. Also this morning, Prince Harry is in London making a rare appearance back in court, and we'll have the very latest on that.
First, look at the top stories breaking today. We start with the latest fallout from President Trump's tariffs. Want to go back to Whit Johnson on Wall Street. Good morning, Whit.
George, good morning to you. The markets are opening higher this morning amid some cautious optimism about potential deals on tariffs. But most analysts we've been speaking with say expect more volatility as this trade war continues to escalate. Yesterday, the Dow had its largest point swing ever in a single day. The S&P has lost about $5 trillion in value since the tariff announcement last Wednesday. That's one of the worst three-day dollar losses in the history of the index. This morning, President Trump is threatening an additional 50% tariff on China if the country does not withdraw its retaliatory tariff on the U.S. That would effectively bring total tariffs on China to more than 100%. China is now firing back, calling this blackmail and promising to fight till the end. Now, financial experts say Americans can start expecting prices to go up on things like fresh produce within a week. For cars, it could be a month. And for appliances and clothing, expect that increase in the next 4 to 6 months. But again, the White House says that 70 countries have reached out hoping to negotiate. And the Treasury Secretary told ABC News this morning that he hopes deals could start coming together on tariffs, quote, very quickly. Michael?
And we hope those deals will make a difference, Whit. Thank you so much for that. And as Whit just said, the president is standing firm, dismissing a suggestion that there could be a tariff pause and threatening China with even higher tariffs if they follow through with retaliation. Let's go back to our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce. Good morning again, Mary.
Good morning again, Michael. Well, the president's sweeping so-called reciprocal tariffs are set to go into effect tonight at midnight. And despite the turmoil that we are seeing on Wall Street, the president remains defiant. He is adamant that this will bring fairness to global trade and is rejecting calls to hit the brakes, telling me he's not considering a pause to allow for negotiations, as some investors have been calling for. But the president and this administration are sending mixed messages about this trade war. The president speaking of the tariffs as permanent policy, but also opening the door up to bargaining. Now, as Whit said, the White House says almost 70 countries have now come calling, though so far it seems Japan is the only one right now involved in active negotiations. And the Treasury Secretary here at the White House just telling me he does expect some deals to come together with big trading partners, quote, very quickly. Meanwhile, over on the Hill, Republican leaders are publicly shrugging off these concerns, but there are signs of growing dissent among rank and file members who are pushing for Congress to have a greater say in tariffs. Michael?
Yeah, seems to be pushing a lot of people to the limit there, Mary. Thank you. I'm going to turn now to the latest on the deadly measles outbreak. The U.S. now has more than double the number of cases than in all of last year, the vast majority in West Texas. Maria Villarreal is in Lubbock, Texas with more. Good morning, Maria.
Hey, good morning, Michael. You know, that outbreak, it may have started in rural West Texas, but the health department director here tells me it is quickly spreading, hitting urban pockets like the city of Lubbock. In fact, in this county, they saw their cases triple in just the last week and a half. Now, up until this outbreak, doctors and nurses here locally, the health department, they hadn't treated a reported case of measles in 20 years. Now, one of the biggest challenges has been testing. Initially, samples were sent to private labs or the state lab in Austin, and results were taking 5 to 10 days. Now, this is a highly contagious disease that can linger in the air for several hours, so those results were imperative. Now, we spoke with the owner of a local daycare that's had 6 confirmed cases connected to her facility. She's been advocating for parents, pushing for more resources, and she compared this to what she dealt with during COVID, staying open but working closely with the CDC to put tighter protocols in place, isolating groups of children, babies that are too young for the MMR vaccine, to make sure that she keeps them healthy and safe. Now, we have confirmed this morning with the Lubbock County Health Department, they have a small testing facility here now locally that is turning out results in 1 to 2 days. They also have a vaccine clinic right behind me that'll open very soon. It's open 4 days a week to anyone. They have more funding to staff that with nurses, and they are expecting that second CDC team to land here in Lubbock to help with this measles outbreak very soon. Rebecca?
All right. Thank goodness for all of those healthcare workers. Maria, thank you. We turn now to Prince Harry back in court fighting for more protection for he and his family. Maggie Ruley joins us with what Harry's lawyers are arguing for. Good morning, Maggie.
Hey, Rebecca, good morning. Yeah, Prince Harry has just shown up at a court here in London for what is essentially his last chance to change the government's stance on his security. Now, Harry came here from the States to hear a final appeal in his legal challenge against the UK Home Office's decision to change his security status after he stopped being a working royal. Now, just today in court, Prince Harry's lawyers are arguing that the prince still faces significant security threats, including from Al-Qaeda, who they say has threatened his assassination. Now, Prince Harry filed the suit after that 2020 decision from the UK government to change his security status so that he was only offered state-funded police protection on a case-by-case basis and not the blanket security protection given to working royals. Guys, they also rejected his proposal to personally pay for that police protection. Now, Harry has called this decision unfair, saying that it doesn't offer adequate protection for his family. And he's so upset about this that he has said he's reluctant to bring his family, including his wife Meghan and their 2 kids, here to the UK. In fact, his kids, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, haven't visited the UK since 2022. And guys, this means that they haven't seen their grandfather, King Charles, since then either. Now, we're still unsure at this point if Prince Harry saw his father, King Charles, while he's been in town for this court case, but we do know that King Charles left yesterday for Italy with his wife, Queen Camilla. Guys, they are there right now for a 4-day state visit. Guys.
Okay, Maggie, thanks very much. Coming up on our GMA morning menu, the fight over fluoride in water, what Health Secretary Robert F Jr. is saying. Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Tara Narula breaks down what it means.
Also ahead, the new trailer for the upcoming Mission Impossible movie, what Tom Cruise, George's apparent doppelganger, is saying about the stunts and playing Ethan Hunt again. That's coming up in Pop News.
Plus, Blink-182's Mark Hoppus is telling all in his new memoir about the band's years on the road, his tough battle with cancer, and his life now. And Lara is with a special guest. Hey, Lara.
Hey, Michael, I'm with Kate Sandoval, box of Oprah Daily, and she's here to bring us the Menopause Awards. These are the top products that are Oprah approved for easing the symptoms of menopause. It's coming up right here on GMA. We got it for you.
Now, who celebrates moms better than GMA?
Oh my gosh. This is amazing.
Now GMA's ready to do it again.
Love it. I cannot wait for that.
So is there a mom in your life who deserves the most joyous surprise of a lifetime and getting breakfast in bed on GMA? Then scan this code or go to goodmorningamerica.com to find out how to enter one incredible mom for the greatest Mother's Day surprise. Hey, at GMA, we're celebrating 50 years of celebrating moms, and this Mother's Day will be the best surprise yet.
And welcome back, everybody. We have 2 deserving moms here, but you 2 cannot be served breakfast in bed because we need you here at work, okay?
Yes,
but
that's
breakfast
where
in
we
bed,
will be.
yes, it's one of our favorite things here on
really
GMA.
is.
We love celebrating the mothers who do so much, not only for their families, but for their communities as well.
And now is the time to tell us about that special mom in your life. Just scan the QR code. It's right there somewhere. Or go to our website. We've got all of the information. George?
Always one of our favorite days of the year. Okay, thanks. We return now to our GMA cover story. A health alert on fluoride. Health Secretary Robert F Kennedy Jr. is urging the CDC to stop recommending it in public drinking water. This reignited a decades-old debate. I want to bring in our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Tara Narula. And Dr. Narula, the public health benefits of fluoride are pretty well documented over decades. So why is Robert F Kennedy Jr. doing this?
Right. So both the EPA and the HHS this week said they're going to investigate the safety of fluoride in the water. Now, 2/3 of the American public drink water that has fluoride in it. Fluoride, a naturally occurring mineral in soil, water, and rocks that basically travels to areas in our body that have calcium, teeth, and bones. Now, the EPA has set a maximum safe limit of about 4 milligrams per liter. The CDC has recommended that we drink water that's much lower in concentration, 0.7 milligrams per liter, and that's what most of us consume. That's found to be the level that's recommended for both safety, but also to prevent tooth decay. Now, essentially, though, it's up to the states and the local governments to decide if they're going to put fluoride in the water and how much. And really, where does this controversy, why is this happening? Well, it's because there's been some research to suggest, now this is not the greatest research in terms of quality, that there may be a possible association with fluoride in high concentrations, much more, almost double the amount we drink, and cognitive issues in children with decreased IQ. And that has led to a push for some of this.
But the original science behind putting fluoride in water showed the benefits.
Correct. So originally this was discovered in the early 1900s. A dentist from the East Coast traveled to Colorado and found that a lot of the people out there had stains on their teeth. They called it Colorado brown stains, but they also were protected from tooth decay. And so they discovered that it was the fluoride in the water in Colorado that was protecting them. And by the 1940s and 1960s, this became much more universal. And we have seen a 25% reduction in terms of tooth decay by putting fluoride in the water. We may not think of tooth decay as being an issue, but it is in terms of both pain and suffering, cost, a cosmetic issue, quality of life, eating. So it is really something important, and it is a low-cost opportunity to really eliminate health disparities for individuals who may not be able to get to the dentist or have oral hygiene.
And as you said, most water systems have far below the levels that CDC is warning could be a danger. So what should parents know right now?
Yeah, so first of all, the American Academy of Pediatrics and the American Dental Association are still recommending that we put fluoride in the water. And as with everything else in medicine and science, it is a benefit and a risk. So higher levels than we usually drink can be associated with dental fluorosis, which is that staining of the teeth, teeth, much higher levels, skeletal fluorosis, which can cause brittle bones. And then we talked about the cognitive issues, again, higher levels than that. So you're weighing those risks and benefits, but for the most part, at the levels we're consuming, this does seem to be safe. We've obviously seen a reduction in tooth decay, as I said, by 25%.
Dr. Narula, thanks very much.
It is time now for Pop News with Lara. What you got?
Just want to say we're still discussing White Lotus. Like it's so iconic. But we need to do something else because you guys have been teasing this all morning long. We're going to cruise into this Tuesday, if you will, with Tom taking us on a final reckoning. Cruise back to save the world again for the 8th Mission Impossible. We've got to look at the official trailer. Check this out.
If we want to bring the world back from the brink, we have to deal with him. Should he choose to accept? Smart people on every side are close to panicking. What exactly is your plan?
The stunts, we're told, are bigger and better than ever, and in classic Cruise form, they're all done by himself. No CGI, none of that stuff. Details, though, on the plot, totally under wraps. We do know it directly follows the events of Dead Reckoning, and the movie's tagline simply says, our lives are the sum of our choices. You can decide what that means. Cruise wrote about this on Instagram. Every choice, every mission has all led to this. I wish I could say it in that deep voice, like the guy in the, I love that. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Well, this is being billed as the final installment in the decades-long franchise. We never count Cruise out, and he hasn't officially confirmed that he is done playing Ethan Hunt, so we shall see. Cruise telling Empire Magazine, you got to see the movie. It's a hard thing for me to discuss at the moment because it really is something that you have to experience. And thankfully, we do not have to wait too long. Mission Impossible, Final Reckoning, hits theaters on May 23rd. Finally.
Can't wait.
Cannot wait.
Yep. And I think knowing that he does it on stunts makes it even more. The last movie star.
Yeah, he just is. He is iconic.
Puts it all
a huge movie star.
Love it.
Can't wait, and congrats to Tom. All right, also this morning, very special honor for a tennis legend. Billie Jean King now is the first woman ever to be recognized on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Yeah, give her a round of applause, everybody. In their sports entertainment category. Billie Jean was introduced by Oscar winner Jamie Lee Curtis and NBA icon Magic Johnson, who talked about BJK's incredible 22-year career in which she won 39 Grand Slam titles. She's also been a champion for gender equality. Congratulations to Billie Jean King. What a career, what a lady. Also this morning, we put out a call across America asking you to tell us about your favorite sideline superheroes. And so many people have submitted coaches who are making a difference in their communities. This morning, we are highlighting one of them. We want you to meet Coach Denise Ebright. There she is, a former D1 college athlete who now coaches cross-country, volleyball, and basketball at St. Teresa School in Oakland, California. She's also a math teacher and resources teacher there. Denise's principal, her coworkers, and her student athletes who nominated her say she embodies everything great that a great coach should be. And Coach Denise tells us that her favorite part of being a coach is when her athletes have taken everything she's taught them and turned that into marking personal milestones. Congratulations, Coach Denise. So well deserved. Later this week, we are headed to Detroit to highlight another sideline superhero. We would love to hear from you. If you have a coach that deserves to be honored, scan the QR code or go to our website and tell us their story. We want to hear it. And that's Pop News, guys.
Thank you, Lara. And great stories out there, so make sure you submit them because there's some really incredible coaches out there.
They really do change lives.
Truly. Okay. I'm going to head over this way because we're turning to some, let's do this. We're turning to some relief for perimenopausal and menopausal women. Oprah Daily consulted the nation's top experts and scoured the market to find the best sleeping aids and beauty products for their first ever Menopause Awards. Beauty director Kate Sandoval-Box joins us now with a few of the winners, and you can shop all these products using that QR code at the bottom of your screen. It is so nice to see you, Kate.
So nice to see you. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you. And you're really covering a really broad field here of things that people are really thinking about, and we need these items.
Yes, absolutely. There's so many symptoms for menopause.
Okay, and we begin with this. What is this right here?
Yes, so this is our Best Scalp Serum Award.
Oh.
It goes to the Highbrow Hippie Root Replenish Active Growth Serum.
Yes.
It's $88. This is not just my favorite, it's also Julia Roberts and Meghan Markle's go-to.
Wonderful.
Yes, it's so easy to use. One dropper full you put on your scalp, and here's why I love it. It's water-based. So it's not going to flatten your roots.
Okay.
It's not going to make you feel greasy. It's safe for color-treated hair. Put it on in the morning and at night, and you're good to go.
So you're telling me that hair will now grow on my hand?
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding.
Julia Roberts told us that her strands are stronger and growing faster since she started.
Well, we love to hear that. Okay, Highbrow Hippie, number one. Number two,
okay.
Lip butter. You can never have enough lip
You
moisture.
cannot, especially when you're going through menopause. It sucks all the moisture head to toe out of you, including your lips. This is our best lip balm winner.
It smells so good.
Harry Grand Lip Whip. I swear by it. It's $24. The clear one I keep by my bed. I put on my lips at night.
Yes.
Wake up in the morning, so much more hydrated and healed. And then these beautiful tints, they're so creamy and lovely and give you just enough of color during the daytime.
Yeah, just a hint of color and feels really nice and feels very moisturizing too, I can tell. Okay, this.
Yes, so this is our best
If you're
portable
feeling hot.
fan winner. When the hot flashes come on, this is tiny enough you keep in any handbag you have. Whip it out. Once it's charged, it lasts for 8 hours. Wow.
Okay.
And what we absolutely love about it, so it's so easy to turn on, it has a phone charger in the bottom.
So you could even charge it if you're on the road.
Yes, and if you need to charge your phone, you're ready to go.
Excellent.
So great.
Okay, sheets. Yes. We know that part of the key to getting a good night's sleep is to be comfortable and not overheated.
Exactly.
Which can be a big issue when you're going through menopause or perimenopausal.
Right. The night sweats come on fast.
Yeah.
So these are our best cooling sheets. We tried a ton.
Ooh.
We absolutely love these.
These work.
Slumber Cloud Performance Sheet Set. So soft, so gorgeous. They have a NASA-created technology woven into the fibers. So they absorb your body temperature, hold on to it, and then when your night sweat is done and you're starting to cool off, they release that heat again.
That's
so they
perfect.
keep you in this perfect sweet spot
You're in
temperature
your little
all night
cocoon
long.
all night long. Okay, and then finally this.
Yes, okay, so for the body aches and pains that come with menopause, nothing beats the Therabody Theragun Mini. This is the new Mini. It's so easy to travel with. You just push it on. It has 3 speeds. You gotta hold it for a sec. And it massages you wherever you are. Best massager ever.
Kids can get involved in this too. Just speaking from some experience. Mommy needs some help.
Absolutely. It's a bit of a splurge at $200, but when you need it, it's worth it.
All right, Kate, thank you so much for all of this help. And you can go to our website and shop these products there. You can also do that at the QR code right on your screen. And Kate will be back tomorrow with winners of the Oprah Daily Bath Awards. And coming up, thank you. We're looking forward to that. Coming up, Babs Costello is here. We can't wait. Stay with us.
Welcome back to GMA, live from Times Square.
Welcome back, everybody. Tomorrow, Anthony Anderson's here in Times Square.
Buckle up.
Yeah, buckle up is right. You know that, George. He's going to tell us about his action movie G20, where he's joining his Blackish star Marsai Martin. Well, she is here this morning. Lucky enough to have her here, and that's all coming up. And Larry, we're excited about what you have coming up. What you got?
Yeah, we've got Babs in the house, everybody. America's favorite grandmother, Babs Costello, is with us. And this morning, she's here with recipes from her new cookbook, Every Day with Babs, bringing us delicious, simple meals and ideas for every night of the week. And Babs, I love this because you're making it very simple. We're going to talk about Monday, and you've got a little, a little thing to tell us.
We're going to go right through the week because everybody makes all these decisions.
But on Mondays, we need to
get going because Monday is so stressful.
Come on, say it, Babs.
Get your sheet together Monday.
Get your sheet together,
sheet pan
everybody.
meals, because Monday you're like stressed.
Right.
Need something quick, simple, and
Sheet
delicious.
pan cooking, always easy.
I have 13 sheet pan meals that are unbelievable. It's so easy to prep and easy to fix.
And guys, this one is so good. This is gnocchi, sausage, red pepper.
Yes, and a little fresh basil.
Yeah.
And you're good to go.
It
It's
smells
good to serve.
so good, and I love all of those things.
12 other recipes in the cookbook.
In
all
the cookbook.
sheet pans.
Okay,
now,
so then Tuesdays we're doing batch cooking.
Little batch cooking, 2 for Tuesdays. So if you're making something, you're going to make enough of it to
So that you
freeze,
can-
to refrigerate. You've got meals for the week.
Yep.
These are
Tuesday.
chicken cutlets. You fry some up, you freeze some, and you've got. You're never without food.
I
Let's
love
put it that way.
That's a
easy
big,
2 for Tuesday.
Important thing in my house. On Wednesday, we're going one pot wonder.
One pot.
So she's got a lot of recipes in here, right, Babs?
One pot, one skillet. There's 12 recipes in this. Again, easy prep, easy cleanup. My grandkids love this.
I love this
It's
too.
the pasta, broccoli, a little lemon, a little Parmesan cheese.
So easy.
It's to die
You
for.
can add
and it's
pine
one
nuts
pot.
if you want a little-
Oh my word! If you want to elevate it for the
Yes.
adults, a little crushed red pepper. Again, all one pot, one skillet meals.
All right, so Monday, sheet. Tuesday, batch. Wednesday, one pot.
We're going to go
Thursday.
right through the week.
Thursday is kind of thrifty.
It's thrifty because by Thursday, your food budget's kind of depleted, right?
Right.
So then you want to rely on more pantry staples.
Okay.
So this
So
is
use
actually
what you got.
Use what you got, and this is actually my niece Beth's famous sloppy Joe casserole.
And it's so good.
It's easy.
Babs, I've
it
made
makes
it.
a bunch. Is this great?
It's so good.
It's so great. And again, in the chapter, there's like pasta vazole. There are so many dishes that you can make with just pantry
What
staples.
you have, a couple of things from the
Couple
store.
of
You're
things,
not
yes.
spending a lot of money.
No.
And you're getting meals that your family will
really love. Exactly.
So then we get to Friday, and we want to spice it up because the weekend is here, right?
Yes, and we call it Fry-yay.
Fry-yay.
It's time to have some fun with these meals. This is the giant crunchy taco wrap. It makes a ton. And then everyone could top their meal with a little nacho cheese.
Yeah, you
put
have
some
it's
nacho
sort of like a
cheese
party.
on. Yes, and it could be family night. It could
that
be
looks really
movie
good. This is
night.
making me very hungry,
It's what
Babs.
and we've got the guacamole, the salsa, a little cilantro.
And it's sort of, it feels like fun fast food, but it's super healthy. That's why I love your recipes.
Oh my gosh. And you know what? And easy.
Yep.
Easy to make because no one wants to be in the kitchen for hours, right?
So what are some of the other recipes that you have for Fry-yays?
Fry-yay, we have the spicy tuna sushi bake.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh my gosh. My grandkids love this.
Really?
And
see, that sounds like it was intimidating, but it's
No.
I know your recipes. You really keep them simple.
We have the Reuben pastry pockets.
Oh wow.
Pimento cheese patty melts. Like really fun recipes.
And like fun to say, really.
It's Fry-yay. Let's celebrate, right? We made it through the week.
Yes, we did. And we can't.
Oh, we got to go to the weekend.
Come on over.
Yeah. All
Last
right.
but certainly not least, this is the weekend wind down.
The weekend wind down. So for Saturday, you're doing errands, or you might be laying on the sofa. But it's low and slow Saturday. Time to use your slow cookers.
Okay.
And then for Sunday, we have more elevated meals.
When
It's
you
Sunday
say the
supper.
slow cookers, you're providing the recipe because I sometimes have problems with my slow cooker.
I am going to solve those problems,
Okay.
Laura, because in this cookbook,
I feel like sometimes things get like
they're
like
mushy.
Yeah.
And no, not with this. You do a
Okay.
little prep with some of the recipes, but none of them taste like, sometimes it's like, is this like hospital food or
Yes.
something?
Oh,
No.
not with
These
Babs.
are dynamite recipes.
And we can't forget the desserts because we're all big fans of your desserts.
Yes. So in the this is the strawberry shortcake made on a sheet pan.
It looks like a gorgeous scone.
I know. They look like scones, don't they? But
Yeah.
this, you just make a homemade shortcake right on a sheet pan, bake that off, then you macerate some strawberries, fresh whipped cream, and you've got dessert for the entire family, and you could serve it either on a lovely platter or right from the sheet pan.
Yeah, really easy.
That's so easy.
Thank you for
Sunday
thinking
like a
about
little
that.
elevated. We've got Sunday suppers. You're going
Sunday
to love
supper.
it.
It's a time to gather with
We're
the
saving
family.
America. With
Saving
what's for dinner, we
That's
got
right.
you covered.
Fab, thank you for being America's grandmother. We love you so much. Congratulations on the new book.
Thank you. Laura, you're the best.
Thank you. And guys, you can check out Every Day with Babs. It's out now. And make sure to check out her whole dessert chapter. You will not be
All the
sorry.
chapters.
Yes. And check out some of her recipes on our website, goodmorningamerica.com.
now, we look at Fahrenheit 182, the new memoir from Mark Hoppus, the vocalist, bassist, and founding member of pop-punk band Blink-182. Chris Connolly sat down with him to talk about it. Hey, Chris.
Hey, good morning to you, George, and that is absolutely right. Along with bringing the fun and occasionally wearing clothes, Blink's 182's Mark Hoppus became a fan favorite for putting genuine emotions into his buoyant songs. Now, in his candid memoir, Mark has deep feelings to share, like about the time he thought a lifetime of good fortune had come to an end.
We played our own instruments, we wrote our own songs, for better or worse. We were just ourselves.
And that's about the time she walked away from me.
They were the class of 1999. The class clowns, that is. Blink-182.
What's my age again?
Blink's Mark Hoppus singing What's My Age Again. Their cheerful, full-throttle rock topped the charts.
Carry me on.
Or their mega hit All the Small Things, Blink parodying a host of boy band music videos.
People wanted to laugh. I think people wanted something a little more fun and a little more authentic.
Fell short this time. Your smile fades in the summer.
He's been a fan favorite ever since. Now in his new memoir, Fahrenheit 182, a 53-year-old Mark Hoppus is sharing intimate details of his own life or death story.
There's a photo in your book that you describe as being the worst day of your life.
So that was after round 2 of chemotherapy. I felt like my body was on fire and I get crazy sick. And I'm sitting on the floor in front of my toilet and my hair had all fallen out. So I took a picture. I'm like, if I ever get better from this, I'm gonna look at this picture and thank God for every single day afterwards.
It's all right to tell me.
Mark had spent much of the 90s in close quarters with his bandmates, going gig to gig in a van from their San Diego home base.
You weren't even taking showers in those days, right?
No.
Most of the time.
There would be weeks, this is so shameful. Our van was hell on earth. We called it the Millennium Falcon and we loved it. It smelled like a dumpster behind a restaurant.
Those big hits came as Travis Barker on drums, joined with Mark and his BFF, singer-guitarist Tom DeLonge.
And then we went from playing like theaters to headlining Madison Square Garden.
As his book also chronicles, amid the year 2000's insane spike in his celebrity, Mark got married to MTV talent executive Sky Everly.
In the middle of all the craziest thing that can happen to people, you found the love of your life.
Yeah. And I was lucky. I found the love of my life at the exact right time. And we've been married for almost 25 years, and we have a son who's awesome, and I couldn't be happier.
Blink-182 would also endure, even after the 2008 plane crash that nearly took Travis Barker's life, Tom DeLonge's lengthy hiatuses. But then
I felt a lump over here, and I was like, oh, that feels weird. That's big. And it turned out to be a deadly lymphoma.
We think of you as the most positive guy, the most exuberant guy. What's that like for someone like you to go through?
To be honest with you, I thought I was going to pass. I felt like my luck had run out. I felt like I'd been so blessed in my life, blessed with an amazing wife and an awesome son. Now it's time to pay the fiddler. We got the live show.
Mark would undergo 6 rounds of chemotherapy before news from his oncologist.
My doctor was so awesome. After my last round, I'm like, hey, I got a clean bill of health. Like, they say there's no cancer. What do I do now? And he said, now you go live your life. And we went to a Mexican restaurant here in Los Angeles called El Coyote. And I got drunk at 11 o'clock in the morning. It was the best day of my life. That's about the time she walked away from me. Nobody likes you when you're 23. And I'm still more amused by TV shows. What the hell is ADD? My friends say I should act my age. What's my age again? What's my age again?
Here in his home studio, Mark would relearn how to sing to compensate for chemo's effects on his vocal cords, so Blink-182 could rock again.
The power of music is that I'm back here with all of you. I hope that the energy of a Blink-182 show, and that's how we feel about it, is come to the show, have moments of heartbreak, have moments of inspiration, and walk out going, that was a great time.
And Fahrenheit 182 is in bookstores now. Mark Hoppus just always finds a way to make people smile, guys.
Yeah, sure does. He just made us smile. Thank you.
We're turning now to a first and unprecedented look at the Titanic. A new special from National Geographic called Titanic: The Digital Resurrection takes us thousands of feet below the sea.
Many expeditions have been down to the Titanic, but it's pitch black down there.
This morning, take a look at the Titanic like you've never seen it before.
This is a view I've never had before.
Nearly 113 years after the ship's tragic sinking.
The time it took for a Titanic to collide with the iceberg, the glancing blow, was 6.3 seconds.
Nat Geo shedding new light on the ship's final moments with Titanic, the digital resurrection.
Here, we really see the power of the simulation.
The documentary taking us 12,500 feet below the surface as the largest underwater 3D scanning project maps the wreck and recreates a full-scale digital version.
This digital twin is the most impactful thing since the wreck was first found.
As historians and experts explore the wreck up close.
I found this very interesting. It's a steam valve.
New secrets of the Titanic are revealed.
This davit is in the up position, meaning its crew is basically trying to get a lifeboat ready to be launched.
Wow, the Titanic, the digital resurrection premieres Fridays at 9/8 Central on National Geographic and streams the next day on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Just amazing.
Yeah. Really remarkable what they can do now. And coming up, Blackish star Marsai Martin is here to tell us about her new action movie and being back on the screen with her TV dad.
All right, we're back now with one of our favorites, a talented young actress you'll recognize from her role on Blackish. Now, Marsai Martin is starring in the new action thriller G20. Marsai, welcome back to GMA. Give it up.
Thank you. Oh, thanks, guys.
It's like the family's coming back.
I know. So excited to be here. Thank you.
Well, we're so excited to have you here. And, you know, Viola Davis was on yesterday.
Yeah.
She plays the president in this movie, and you play her daughter.
I do.
But you're a little rebellious.
Oh, yeah. A little?
A little, yeah, a little rebellious.
I mean, sneaking out the White House is like, you know.
Yeah, so tell me about your character.
Well, I mean, like you said, she's rebellious, but yet wise beyond her years. She is so smart and so independent and not wanting to put herself in a box. And that's what I love about this character. She is so layered in so many ways, and you kind of just see her emotional and character arc within the whole entire film, which I love.
And you know, Viola Davis is one of the greats of all time. The EGOT.
The EGOT. The legend herself.
Yeah, the legend herself. So what was it like, you know, being in a movie with her for the first time? How was that working together?
So surreal. I mean, she's known me probably ever since I was little. We always see each other in passing, and whether it's after parties or just whatever. And, you know, but like working with somebody and being with them 24/7 throughout the day, you just never know what that's gonna look like. But with her, she is so sweet, so chill, and yet always perfecting her craft. And she knows how to lead in this movie, of course, but also in real life. And it just made it very comforting.
Well, let's look at a clip of you doing your craft right now. Let's check it out.
Let's do it.
Danielle! Oh my God. Come get hubby.
Mom? Mom, can you hear me?
What is it, my baby?
He has Dad in this big conference room. He has a knife to his throat.
I'm on my way.
Ooh, I like it.
Uh-oh.
We kind of recognize your dad.
Kind of?
Good old Anthony Anderson. He's also your dad in Blackish. So what was it like to be reunited with Anthony?
It was awesome. And, you know, jumping into a film that was, you know, new for me and yet challenging. It could be very different for an actor, but having a sense of familiarity on set like Anthony, who knows me with, you know, from the back of his hand and has known me for 10 years plus at this point is very special. And we had lots of fun, you know, it was cool.
Well, it's kind of like a Blackish reunion here on GMA because you guys just come on all the time. So yesterday we had Tracy Ellis Ross.
I saw.
You're here today.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah, Anthony's here tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
all the parentals. It's going to be a family reunion. Yeah.
So I'm curious, what would your character Diane be up to today?
Oh, how old would she be? Probably like around my age, 19, 20. She'd definitely be at a HBCU. I will say that. Taking on the campus.
Rebellious?
Probably, but you know, she's definitely will be the talk of the town. I will tell you that.
Well, as you are.
Yeah.
As you are. And you know what? I'm so proud of you just from Blackish and producing, Little, which I told you I love the movie, and just watching you really grow and blossom.
Thank you so much.
It's been fun.
Thank you.
And congrats
doing
on,
us, yeah.
Doing us is right. Congrats on G20.
Thank you.
And it premieres, G20 premieres Thursday on Prime Video. Make sure you watch it. Entertain yourself, everybody. Marseille Martin, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Here she comes.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
It's career day. I was saying hi to the students.
Have a great day.